What's up, everybody? I'm going to be going over my February reads as well as showing you guys what I got planned for this month. So, February was awesome for me. I got through 11 books. I finally got through Family of Secrets, which that's going to be an entire video in of itself because it was just such an amazing book, incredible book for a person who is kind of leans very liberal in the media that he chooses to work for. I felt that it was pretty unbiased. However, again, you know, you always have to, especially with history, read on a subject from multiple different people, multiple sources, but overall, it was a mind blowing book. Family of Secrets by Russ Baker. Look for the video that I will do on that. I got stuck on Quarry. I don't, dude. I'm about to go to a 12-step program because I can't stop reading and talking about the Quarry series by Max Allan Collins. These books are just hard hitting, just nonstop action thrills, and just overall, you have no idea what's about to happen, but you kind of do, but you kind of don't. Um, the violence is kind of shocking in a good way because I mean. Like the build up is coming. He's going to see his mark, and then you think he's going to try to get information out of him. The next thing you know, pow, one straight through the eye. It's nonstop action. It's great crime noir, hard boiled fiction by one of the greatest to ever do it, Max Allan Collins. I didn't read as many business books as I would like. I read Wealth Building by Jacob Naiman, which was good. I gave it a 3.75. It wasn't the best that I've ever read. There was a lot of generic information. I think it was suited for someone that's very new to investing and new to investing ideas. However, there was some hidden gems of information in there that I did not know. And as always, I use Fable app as well as Storygraph. Fable has been having some issues technically in the past couple months. I still love them. I still love their mission. It's free overall. However, for me, since I do consider myself a very dedicated reader, I do want to have a backup, so I've been using Storygraph as well. I can't say anything bad about either of them other than Fable having some technical issues that they are working through. So, um, you know, hanging tight and letting them sort the bugs out. But other than that, I like both apps. I don't see choosing one over the other. So, and I got space on my phone for both. Now, it did say 52 books is what my goal is for the year. However, I am shooting for 100. I use 52 just to gauge where I'm at in my goal. I'm kind of weird with numbers like that, but Fable does this thing where it shows you, hey, you're on track to get done with your goal by May. And when I know that, then I know that I'm on a correct pace. If I see that my goal is 100 and I'm only at, say, 22 books, 23 books, it creates anxiety that I don't need. So it's better for me to just use this feature as a 52 goal for the year. Okay, so I went over my February recap. I'm going to show you what physically I have that I'm going to be reading in the month of February. Now, when I say physically, I am talking about physical books because I do a lot of reading on a tablet, simply because I can read my tablet at night right before I go to bed, and also some books I just don't want to go through the hassle of either A, buying, or B, placing on hold and waiting for the library to come through. So now I'm kind of weird, I don't get a book and read it straight through. Sometimes I read 20 pages, sometimes I read 50 pages. I usually try to keep in rotation around 5. I kind of got way out of whack with things recently, so I'm trying to hunker down and finish every book that I've started. One of them being The Drawing of Three by Stephen King. I read the first one in the Dark Tower series, The Gunslinger, last year, and it was a fever dream. I'm not a big fan of fantasy, however, I am a huge fan of Stephen King's writing. Uh, I don't have I can separate art from the artist, as the saying goes. I don't, you know, oh, did you know what he said on Twitter? No, I don't. I don't have Twitter, and I don't care what he said. I'm reading his books, dude. Get over it. Anywho, Drawing Up 3, so far it is going back into straight dystopia. It's weird. It's page turning in a weird kind of like, what is going on? But this is interesting. Anywho, I do plan on reading the entire series, so this is the second book in the Dark Tower series, The Drawing of 3 by Stephen King. Also, I started Donnie Brasco. Okay, Donnie Brasco, I'm not sure if you've ever watched the movie with, oh my gosh, how am I blanking? I'm going to have to, Al Pacino, duh. Al Pacino, Johnny Depp is in it. Johnny Depp is in a bunch of great movies. Another one being that he gets a lot of hate on was Black Mass, about Whitey Bulger, which I have read extensively about, and I think he captivated him perfectly. He also did a great job being Joey Pistone, who was the undercover FBI agent who infiltrated the Bonanno crime family, which the Bonanno crime family is one of the 5 families out of New York. I believe he got made, or he got close to being made. Anywho, I started it. I'm going to finish it. So far, it's pretty decent. However, again, you gotta read history everywhere. So this is coming straight from the horse's mouth. However, he did do this himself. So is there a chance that he embellished some things? Absolutely. So am I going to take this word as Bible truth? Probably not. But there has to be a bunch of facts in there, and there has to be some embellishing. That's how storytellers tell stories. So we'll see how it goes. Mark Bowden's Killing Pablo. Killing Pablo. Now, if you've ever watched Narcos, if you've ever watched any documentaries on Pablo Escobar, if you've ever heard his name, this is a decent book so far. It's giving the background of Colombia and where it was at, and Pablo Escobar as he was growing up and how he rose to power and the eventual downfall. I think it's kind of crazy that the cover is, I'm not sure if I can even show this on YouTube, but slain body of him just kicking it with all the, I'm not sure if they're called Policica or Federale. I haven't gotten that far in the book yet, to be honest with you. It's not that I'm, geopolitically incorrect. I just don't know what Colombian police force call themselves, but, they posed for a photo over his body. I think that was kind of insane. But after watching Narcos and knowing what he did to the innocent people of Colombia, I could see how they could feel really accomplished and happy that they brought him down. Now, these two are reads that I picked up from my local library. The first one being 5 Decembers by James Kessel. So many amazing authors have said amazing things about it. One of them being my favorite authors of all time, Dennis Lehane, as well as Stephen King and a grip of others. Max Allan Collins has commented on it. Again, hard case crime. Guys, if you like hard-boiled crime noir, if you're new to reading and you just like violent, gripping stories that you watch on TV and shows such as Mr. In Between, Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, or not Breaking Bad, but kind of. But anyways, that kind of like criminal element type deal. hard case crime, has those plots that they're easy to read. You don't need to be a scholar in order to get through these books. And they're just honestly page turning so good. And when I asked ChatGPT, I said, hey, give me the top 10 hard case crime novels that are the most highly rated out of their entire discography. And this was top of the list. So I'm looking forward to this. It takes place somewhere around the time of Pearl Harbor, and I don't know much about it. That's why I'm looking forward to reading it, as well as another Stephen King book. I usually don't read two authors at the same time, but Stephen King's Joyland, which I'm about 60 pages in, and I have no idea why this is included in hard case crime, to be honest with you, because it is kind of sci-fi, it's kind of horror, but I'm digging it. It's good. It's a Stephen King book, and to be honest with you, I haven't had a miss from him. I thought The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon was just kind of mid, but it wasn't a bad book. I still read it all, and I thought it was a good story, but compared to his other works, it wasn't the greatest. So, but Joyland is going pretty well, and I think it was one of his earlier works that Charles Ardai, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. If he ever watches this, forgive me for the pronunciation or lack thereof. Scooped up the publishing rights. Now, also, I got a big, glorious bastard of a book that I'm trudging through. I think I'm on page 80 or so. The Pentagon Papers, and these were the papers that were released on I believe the government cables and secret documents of the Vietnam War. And so far I'm learning so much about the Vietnam War that I had no clue about. If you hear that in the background, that's my beautiful old puppy whoopie dog just getting some water. But anywho, Pentagon Papers, this book so far is extremely eye-opening. If you lived through this period, if you didn't live through this period, such as me, this book so far has blown my mind, and with every chapter I just learned a slew of things that I had no idea about. So I'm looking forward to that. Getting into my financial books, I have Getting Started in Chart Patterns by Thomas Bulkowski. I don't know how to pronounce last names. Every author I just butcher. So Thomas Bulkowski is known as the godfather of technical analysis, specifically Japanese candlestick patterns. Okay, now a lot of people call them pseudoscience. A lot of people swear by them. I'm somewhere in the middle, which is why I am halfway through this book, The Art of Currency Trading by Brent Donnelly, and so far it's been an eye-opener in the fact that I had no idea about fundamental analysis when it came to Forex and currency markets. And so far, it's been I don't want to say exhaustive, but it's been pretty well done on how to understand, in the simplest terms, fundamental analysis of the foreign exchange market. And no, I'm not trying to sell you a Forex MLM. You don't need to be in a Forex MLM in order to trade Forex. You can just trade it on the side. I know a handful of people that are very successful in Forex, and honestly, I just enjoy doing it. I'm only demo trained right now, and so I'm trying to learn the craft. And so the art of currency trading, as well as getting started in chart patterns, hopefully will help me in my trading journey. I will keep you guys posted. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.